have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, Radical Personal Transformation, Whole Life Prosperity and Success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be. And welcome in. This is Dr. Cause and Effect. Dr. Stephen J. Kazmina coming at you here on another episode of the Genesis frequency. Let's dive right in today. We are exploring, what'll it be? Last episode, I asked that question. You know, that's a question that comes up in life all the time, right? We go to the restaurant. We go to, maybe we're out having a cocktail or something with friends, or, you know, it comes up. What'll it be? What are you having? Are you ready to place your order? We get that all the time. And that was last episode to kick off season number 5 of this show, the Genesis frequency. So welcome in. Thank you for being here. We're going to go to what's next when we talk about what'll it be, when we consider that for our life and living. And we're going to jump into that today. But I want to remind you that all of this, everything I do is personal and professional development. So it applies to you in your life wherever you are on your path right now. As an individual, perhaps working on some big dream goals for yourself, some personal goals in your small business. Maybe you're working on some goals for your business, some growth goals, and you have a vision and you want to move there. You want to make that quantum leap I talk about so often. Or in your professional life, in your career. Maybe you're climbing the corporate ladder. Maybe you just want to contribute to improving the corporate culture. Wherever you are in that environment, everything I talk about is something that you can find that nugget and apply in your life to make that radical personal and professional transformation. These are little things. If you implement these little things as you go along, take what speaks to you, it will absolutely make a difference in your life. And there's some shortcuts in here. That's the quantum leap part. There's some things, if you do things in a certain way, it's going to move you from where you are to where you want to be. So that last episode to kick off season 5 here, after the little break for the holidays, was asking, what'll it be? Again, and I've asked that a lot. That's one of the things I ask on this show almost every episode is, hey, what are you going after? And when I do calls with individuals, and these calls are free, by the way, so you can reach out to me and we can have this conversation of what will it be? What do you want? Are you ready to place your order? Isn't that what it's all about? We're talking about placing your order. You are a part of, you are one of, you are immersed and you are saturated with the energy that is the universe, that is all around you, through you, within you. It's what you're made of. There is no separation. It might feel like it sometimes. But my point is this energy, this all power is there to support you, but you have to cooperate with it in a certain way. And when we're talking about goal achievement and we're talking about transformation, we have to decide what it is we want. So let's look at that. We go to a restaurant and heaven is, let me just put it this way. Order is heaven's first law. Order is the universe's first law. And so it is with life and living. If we were to go into a restaurant and sit down, what's the first thing that
takes place? Well, we're hopefully we're greeted, but we're seated, and we went to the restaurant for a purpose, right? And if that purpose is to be nourished and to be filled with some delicious food, we have to place the order. We don't go into a restaurant, sit down, and the first thing that happens, everybody's brought a plate of food. It doesn't work that way. If it did, chances are we might not get what we want. So it's the same way with life and living. We have to identify what it is we want to experience in our lives, personally and professionally. So that's what placing the order was all about. That was the last episode. So what I want to emphasize today is really the in, I-N, yep, in. And we see it in a lot of words. We see it a lot in personal and professional development, going within, all right? Even when we do this work of identification, identifying what it is we want to order, what it is we want to experience in our lives, we do that by going in, by seeking the inspiration, the download, listening to our intuition in the silence that nudges us along, paying attention to listen in to that still small voice that says, hey, you are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose. You are here to shine a light about and from what you're passionate about. And so often we ignore that, or we don't go to that place often enough within and get quiet enough where we really listen. And so often this identification that we're called to do comes from that place where we find that nagging and that nudging and that constant tapping and knocking that says, pay attention to me. I am longing and discontent within you. I am longing and discontent within you, and I want to express what it is I am here to express. And that's why we go within, to listen to that voice. Because it's easy to move around in the objective world, the outer world, and identify things we want to experience. And look at all the shiny objects, right? I want that. I want this. Oh, that would be nice. Oh, I would like to have that. And we're looking at all these material things. And not that there's anything wrong with what we want, but we have to get this deeper soul longing satisfied. This soul satisfaction has to come. And that's what this identification part is so important. So, yeah, we are looking at a menu that is infinite in nature, and you're invited to look at that menu using the power of your imagination without any consideration to the how. And that's what is a stumbling block for a lot of people. And I say it all the time, how is none of your business. We don't look to the how, but that's what people do. They identify, they're working, they get to this point, they're going within to do the identification of what it is that would satisfy their longing and discontent. But rather than coming from that place like there is no box, not just outside the box, like there is no box, they start to exclude things, exclude what could very possibly be the big dream that they are living to express their purpose. They excluded things because then they start considering, well, that's what I really want to do. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to sing opera. I always wanted to be a pianist. I always wanted to travel the world. I always wanted to live aboard a yacht. But I don't know how. I don't know how I would ever do that. I don't know how I would do this at that stage in my life. I want to be a public speaker. I don't know how. And then they start going down the list of things they identify, and they start scratching them off. Oh, I don't know how I would do that. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I don't have this. And then we're trained, right? We're trained to start making the excuses, to not take responsibility, to start blaming and to start complaining, and then just, hey, shut everything off and say, oh, what's the use? My opportunity has passed me by. But nothing could be further from the truth. And I used to be like that too. I was looking at so many different options for my life when I was in my 20s. In my late 20s, I thought, oh, what's the use? I'm going to be 30 in a couple of years. I look back now, how ridiculous is that? But we do it all the time. We say we don't know how. We say we're too old. We say we're not smart enough. So it's so important to spend the time in this identification phase thinking about the order you want to place to the universe, to that power that will support you along the way. Yeah, you're going to have to do some things, but you want to listen to the inspiration. You want to listen to the intuition. And then what's next? How do we implement this? Because nothing happens really until we set here's another in word, intention to move in that direction, to intend firmly that, yeah, this is it. This is what I'm doing. This is the experience that I am claiming as my own. I'm writing it out. I'm writing my intention in the present tense. Yes, I am so happy and grateful I am now. And then from that inner place, you write out what it is you intend to be, do, and have in this brand new year. That's a clean slate for you to create the life you would love to live. But there's another step here, and so many people miss this. And I know that almost all people miss this when they go about that it's just become like a fun and a game type thing for some people, setting New Year's resolutions, for instance. Most New Year's resolutions are written on a bar napkin when people are half in the bag a couple minutes to midnight, and then the next morning, where did they go? Right? They don't last very long. I want to preface this by saying there's a lot of people that, hey, have set some New Year's resolutions, have stuck to them, and have absolutely transformed their lives. So kudos to you. Keep it going. But that's kind of tongue-in-cheek too, a little bit. What we're really talking about here is beyond the intention. We have to make the commitment. We have to make the commitment to doing the thing, to pursuing the intention with everything we have. All we have to do is be willing and able. Again, we don't have to know the how. And as we move forward this new year, I want to get clear on a couple of terms. And one term I want to get clear on right now is when I use the word individuality. See, this show could be titled All About because that's really what we're talking about. The individuality is that part of us, that connected place, that place where we're connected to infinite, another inward, intelligence, another inward. They just keep coming. Infinite intelligence within us, that place, that soul, our soul. What we're made of, that purity, that perfection, that is our essence. Call it whatever you want to call it. That pure, powerful, infinite place of pure potential within us. That's our individuality. That is our individuality as opposed to the ego and the personality. So when we're talking the ego and personality, that's all colored with the garment of form, which is influenced by the outer, the What are you? I'm a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, and labels and living from all the input from the world around us, from the news, the radio, the TV, the ancestors, the parents, the teachers, and taking it all in from our five senses and letting our ego rise to the top and be puffed up. Well, without that ego being puffed up, strip all that away, like you're peeling all the layers away from an onion. And at the center, what do you have? You have that individuality. So I'll often use that word individuality. I just want us to get to that place, that individuality where we have that illumined intellect, because that intellect from that place, from the individuality, the truth of what we are, is different than just living life from pure intellect, from a place of limited intelligence. When we go to this individuality, this soul-based living, we're living from the infinite potential, infinite knowledge and wisdom, infinite intellect, infinite power. And all that wisdom, all that infinite intelligence, once we decide and make the commitment, all that energy rushes in to support us along our way. It is that energy. Once we align with what we're here for, that purpose, and set the intention and then commit to it, all that energy rushes in to support us along our way, as if to say, you placed your order, I'm here to deliver. Now we have to take action. We have to move. It's thoughts, yes, it's words, but we have to take action along our path. And, we're coming up on Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and one of the quotes I love is, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just the next step, the next stair. And that's what we're talking about here. You have to take some action. But it's so much easier to do when you make that commitment, and you also make that commitment to starting each and every day within. Call it what you will. You don't have to call it meditation. You don't have to, it's sitting in the silence and just spending some time with your soul at a very deep level, asking, seeking, listening, writing some things down. And whatever your intention is, after you've committed to it, writing that down every single day. I'm so happy and grateful I am now. I am so happy and grateful, over and over and over again. We're conditioning and reprogramming our subconscious mind. And this is so very, very important to experience what we want to experience in our lives. But this energy, this universe takes notice of that, of every action that we take that's in alignment with the intention and the commitment we made, and it rushes in to support us. So every action we take, we see a reaction from the energy we're all immersed in. We're all part of it. It's an illusion to see separation. We're one with this energy, and it is responsive. It is reactive to whatever we do. But a word of caution, it works either way. If your dominant thoughts and your dominant feelings are negative pull thoughts and feelings, all based in worry and doubt and fear and lack and limitation, constantly affirming, I am so sick, or I am so broke, or whatever it is, the universe is going to support that too. Your subconscious mind is going to support that too. Subconscious mind has no ability to reject the thoughts that you plant and let go deeper by wrapping them in with your feeling and your emotion. So it's so important to stand guard. But let's go back, because that'll be in some of the upcoming episodes. Know that personality is of the human. Individuality is alignment with your divine nature, your soul. And that's where you want to strive to live from and start your day every day. And don't be so hard on yourself when you notice what you're noticing and realize you have to course correct. We all have to course correct. We all want to live from that perfection that is within us, that is our essence. But it's, we're all a work in progress, and we just have to notice. We don't have to beat ourselves up when we got irritated or annoyed or angry. It just, we're experiencing life and living from a human perspective, as well as learning how to live from the depth of our soul. But identify what it is you're ordering. Be sure about it through going within, through inspiration, through intuition, paying attention to those nudges. Set the attention and make a commitment to it. I'll share next time. We're out of time for today, but that quote by W.H. Murray, I love sharing it. Share it every few episodes. Boldness has genius in it, and it's all in the commitment. Nothing happens till you make the commitment. People say, I would love to do this, but I don't have any money. And I'll talk to them about it. I go, you don't need the money. You didn't make the commitment to do it. Commit to a thing, and then the resources will show up to support you on your way. Let want, W-A-N-T, let want guide your direction. If you want it, you go for it. You don't say, well, I want it, but then I gotta go look at the checkbook or the bank. You don't. Want should be the only prerequisite. I got that from my late mentor and coach, Mr. Bob Proctor. Want is the only prerequisite. When you make the commitment to going after what you have identified, everything else is going to show up. And again, this is for you as an individual, in your small business, or in the corporate environment. Especially when we're talking about corporate culture, too. Don't forget that one. If you want to get clarity on any of this, I try to cram so much into a 20-minute show. Reach out to me, Stephen, S-T-E-P-H-E-N, at successocean.com. That's my email. Better yet, go to successappointment.com. It's not a fancy website. It's just a calendar. It's linked to my personal calendar, successappointment.com. Schedule a little call, and we'll talk. There's no charge for this. It's free for my listeners. We'll have a conversation about helping you identify what it is you want, or maybe you know what it is you want and you're wondering why you only get so far and then you stumble or you go backwards, or maybe you're in the same place now that you've been year after year after year and you're wondering why. And I can help you identify that why, and I can help set you up with a plan that moves you forward in a positive direction. So reach out. I love doing this work. I've been immersed in personal development all my life, but doing personal and professional development only for over the last 10 years. So reach on out. Let's have a conversation about all of this. I love to talk to you. And whether it's about a workshop, a keynote, on the corporate level, I'll have those conversations with you too. But I love helping individuals achieve and reach their dreams, their big dream goals. And I would love to help you. I'm also looking for entrepreneurs, those that want to step into the laptop and cell phone lifestyle, working anywhere in the world. So more about that at successocean.biz. For now, we're going to call this episode a wrap. You've been listening to the Genesis Frequency, and this is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kosmina, wishing you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.